We are live.
And we are ready for the Civil War, baby. Let's go.
Jesus Christ,
dude,
man.
it is going to get so crazy tomorrow.
Yep.
So if Trump wins, it's going to get crazy.
Absolutely.
If Trump loses, it's going to get crazy. There's no like in between. The powder kegs are brewing. And you know, the thing is, the thing we're working on tonight is to offend absolutely everyone, Christians, except for really good people who voted for Trump. Yeah. Other than that, we're insulting everyone. I promise. From the bottom of my heart, we will be equally offensive to everybody.
The people are like, not going to lie, I'm scared shitless. People should be.
Yeah, except the Jews.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you guys run everything.
So. Well, here's what the Jews did. Check this out. I just got this video texted to me. So Obama issued a message saying no Jew should vote for Trump because, you know, the Democrats really love Jews. You know how they didn't give a guy the nod as vice president because he was the Jew? Of course. Why wouldn't the Jews support a party that ruled out a better VP candidate for someone who's not Jewish because he's Jewish? Now, that to me, that's the party of anti-Semitism.
Is Tim Walz not the best candidate for like what's going on now? Like, I mean, because he seems like the super creepy old white guy. Yeah. And with all this stuff with Diddy and stuff like that, like they're now parading around the entire Diddy list. Fucking,
bro.
Like,
did you see that video of Lady Gaga having that woman puke on her with green puke?
Yes.
What is that? Now, I do some weird shit in the bedroom, but I've never done that.
Well, and also here's my thing. Lady Gaga is the perfect example of a fucking industry plant, if you ask me.
Yes.
She's fucking talentless. She's not attractive. Like I'm
she's hideous.
Yeah, she's not attractive. She doesn't have like she's not like she has like a Christina Aguilera voice or something like that, you know, or Mariah Carey or something like that. She's a fucking industry plant. Like, I mean, before she was popular, she was nothing, you know? So like, you know, there are some artists who represent the left who I'm like, you know what? I still hit it. Scarlett Johansson, for example, definitely. I would put aside all of our political differences just that's awesome to partake. Look, man, I'm a uniter, not a divider. Okay. Yes. Lady Gaga. I wouldn't have sex with her with your penis. And trust me, if I had your penis, I'd be using it all over the place. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Because I wouldn't care about STDs, not my penis. Right. Yeah, you'd be like, here's this damaged, here's this fucked up penis back. It's just how do we end up here? Like all the fucking time? Like, I don't know. So it's a rent a penis, right? Like you get to put it places you wouldn't put your own. Yeah. And you still wouldn't put it in that place, is what you're saying. So this video, essentially Obama's like, dude, if you're a Jew, you shouldn't vote for Trump, who is, by the way, the guy who recognized Jerusalem as the capital that no Democrat president would do. So New York Jews filled the streets blasting a Yiddish song. My mom speaks Yiddish, by the way, that says, vote for Donald Trump. Let's watch this.
Take a few minutes of your time and vote for Donald Trump. Your vote will show support.
That is such a fucking Jewish voice.
Whoa.
Bro, hold on. There it goes.
Let it, dude, keep it going. Let it play all the way through. I'm having a good time.
Okay, here. I got to drop the beat. The beat's about to drop. Come on, beat drop. Whew, there's my cardio for the day. God. Hey, tell me that didn't slap though.
That was amazing. All of it. The entire experience for me is like I can go to bed fucking happy now.
Dude, that was like the horror at a wedding. That was amazing. Like that was so good. That was so good. So, dude, if you could get, now I'm guessing those aren't all Hasidics because they are usually conservative.
Yeah.
But I think the big linchpin, the two big determining factors in this election, Israel, Palestine, and abortion.
Absolutely.
And abortion is silly.
It is. It's such a silly thing. Like I found myself going down a rabbit hole of Charlie Kirk videos today, which, by the way, and I've said this before, but I owe him like kind of an apology.
Yeah, same.
I really thought that he was doing like the Ben Shapiro thing where he goes to college campuses to dunk on people that he's smarter than. He is truly trying to educate these people. Like, I mean, so Charlie Kirk, you probably have no idea who the fuck I am, and you're probably never going to watch this, but I was definitely wrong. I owe you an apology. And whenever I fuck up, I always try to own it publicly. So anybody that could in my past, like look back and be like, wow, you weren't a big fan of his. No. I watched about 45 minutes of of this stuff he does. And it's wild how well he educates these people. And he's really trying to like have like true back and forth debate. So awesome on Charlie Kirk. But I also got to say, like, the whole Obama thing, how do people not see how racist and bigoted these people are? Like, you're Jewish, so vote, so vote this way. You're black, so vote this way. The brothers need to pick this up. Like, nobody better be like, you're a cracker from the South with tattoos. You better vote this way. Like, I'd be like, fuck all the way off, bitches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking inherently fucking racist to like think you should think a certain way based on your physical traits or your heritage. It blows me away that I like vacillate between wondering whether they were always like this and I just wasn't paying enough attention, or whether it's shifted so bad. Do you find yourself there too?
Well, I find myself just wanting the country to do great. And I got in a lot of heat because when Biden was elected, I was so optimistic because, Alan, you've known me. We've been close friends. We've known each other for a long time. Close friends for 4 years. Yeah. And I'm always an optimistic guy. Like, every time something bad happens, I always, like, there's a backstory to I had a very close encounter with things that I can only explain with God on Friday. And nothing like life, like I didn't almost die, but just kind of like the universe giving back for what I've given to it. Does that make sense?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I am always the guy who my business partners hate me because if something bad happens, I'm like, hey, this isn't bad news. They're like, it is. I'm like, no, it's going to open up new things. When Biden was elected, you can look at my tweet history. I put, hey, the good news is, Biden and Obama literally ignored the bird flu. They literally ignored stuff. So I think Biden might lift everything and just bring us back. I think this was all just a charade to get elected. And of course, I lost a ton of followers and people thought I was crazy. And I was wrong because I am very optimistic. If Kamala wins, and there's a good chance she might, I'm not optimistic. And it's to the point where I'm not saying I'm going to leave the country. I'm saying that in 3-4 years, people like you and I might not have a choice but to look at alternative places to live. And I mean that as a serial optimist in that I don't think we'll ever get the country back if she wins. And
I agree.
We might. And I hope I'm wrong because this is so uncharacteristic of me. But we all, if you haven't voted yet, as long as you're voting for Trump, if you're not voting for Trump, don't go vote. Please don't vote. Yes, I'm suppressing votes. Arrest me. If you're dumb enough to vote for that bitch, then you don't deserve the right to vote. I'm sorry. I used to be one of those, like, whoever you vote for, doesn't matter. We can all be friends. Not anymore. People who support what they're doing to the economy, people who support unvetted migration, people who support men playing women's sports and hurting our children, people who support the basically villainization of anyone with an alternative point of view, people who support censorship, people who support the eradication of the First and Second Amendment. I do not want to be friends with Kamala supporters. I do not want to be friends with you anymore. It's come to a point where we are no longer allowed to be friends because you want to suppress my opinion. You want to suppress my vote. You want to erase my vote by allowing in a ton of immigrants who have not done the legal process to get here. So if you vote for Kamala, I look, I'll be friendly to you. We could do business together, whatever, but we're never going to be friends because your idea of how America and the world and humanity should operate, you're telling me that you are for men being in women's locker rooms. You're telling me that you want to tax us more when I'm paying over 50, 60% in taxes already. Right. So what is my fair share? So I'm at the point now where I'm not going to be like Alec Baldwin, like I'm going to leave America, right? I'm not that guy. I will do everything in my power to remain in this country. But there might come a time when people like Alan, me, Tim Pool, Kirk, all these guys, that we are not welcome in our country. And they might use us as political prisoners like they're doing to, like they did to Bannon, like they're doing to everybody else who has the dissenting opinion. So who's to say they're not going to come after my businesses? They're not going to come after my family. Like that's where I'm at right now.
They've absolutely shown that they will, though. That's the thing. Like people need to grasp, like right now, if they can get the fix in and they stay in power for another 4 years, the reins will tighten immensely. They are going to pack the court. They're going to pack the court. They're going to change. They're going to finish the alteration of America that they wanted. You know, the wild thing is this. It's gotten so just in your face ridiculous, right? Like the consistent, like the mainstream media just consistently lying. Kamala Harris consistently lying about like Obama was on TV the other day is talking about the fine people on both sides hoax. You know what I mean? Like they just consistently fucking lie. And I don't think that we can come back from that. If you vote for this, like you're either too stupid to check out whether they're lying or not, or because trust on this, I back check Trump all the goddamn time. Shit he says, I fucking check it all the time. Because I'm at the stage where I am not voting for Trump. If it was just Trump, I'd be voting against the regime, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'll take Trump's economy back, and I'm very happy with what he said. But after 2020, he's always going to have me leery. But like, I'm voting for RFK. I'm voting for RFK more than anything because what people don't get is RFK is the reason why that the rhetoric has gotten so crazy. I've been trying to warn people about this.
Exactly.
Me and you've been talking about this for months beforehand.
We were the first ones.
Yes.
We were by far the first ones.
Because I ran some numbers because me and Mark text all day long. I thought I would do this.
Right? Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring this up.
If RFK, who has promised to, one of the things he wants to do is stop the advertisement of pharmaceuticals on TV and social media and stuff like that. People don't even understand the scope of how culturally altering that is for us, right?
Yes.
It's like they're so looking past it. They don't realize that alone, to just mainstream media, by the way, represents about $276 billion a year approximately in lost revenue.
Yeah.
That is 75% of their revenue. $276 billion fucking dollars. A quarter of $250 billion a year lost, right? Like, you think these people are not going to lie? Like, you can't believe that their stake is too high. We cannot possibly like trust them when their stake is too high. Like you just can't possibly trust them. Yet alone the fact that the pharmaceutical industry will lose out on trillions, anywhere from 1.5 to $3 trillion a year if RFK is able to make America healthy again, and we're able to help him. The big food industry looks to lose $1 trillion a year. So you're looking at a possibility of $4.25 trillion a year lost amongst the major players. Like, that is culturally altering, yet alone the fact that it will shift back more towards like healthy lifestyle and things like that. It takes the power away. It takes dependence away, because the more dependent you are on the government, the more they can control your life. Like, we get people dependent upon government subsidized healthcare. Well, if they're ill if they're healthy population, they don't give a shit. If they're ill, it's fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Like they're stuck in this. I can understand where people are fucking afraid that shit's going to get taken away. I mean, dude, look at how unhealthy we are as a country. And yet alone, they're trying to paint RFK as this like whack job conspiracy theorist. There is a motherfucking dude named Richard with long fucking hair
and a dick
who has 3 adult fucking children, claiming to be a woman and one of the leading experts on health and mental health, while fat as fuck.
Dude, an obese dude.
Yes. So
look, man, I'm not going to make the argument about transgenders not being in positions of power, but I will make an argument about the person in charge of health being a fat, sloppy fuck. That's the only thing. I don't even need to know that Richard has a dick.
No. So
his name is Dick.
Yeah, that's right. He has it twice.
Fitting. He has 2 dicks.
So just like you and I predicted, by the way, sir, the rhetoric has started to bring RFK involved in it. Here is something. This is from Dr. Mike Wachowski or whatever. I don't fucking. Oh, that's yours. Hang on a second. This one is mine. This is from Dr. Mike.
No dancing Jews?
No dancing Jews.
Fuck.
Nobody wants to see me dance. That's not something that they want anyway.
I was getting jiggy with it.
So this is Dr. Mike Wachowski. This is from him. By the way, I just want to point out to everybody that this same motherfucker told everybody to wear masks and how important it is to wear masks, and masks are super important, and then was filmed down in Miami partying with a bunch of fucking people in the back of a boat, no masks, no nothing. Yeah. So he's a complete fucking hypocrite.
Is that this guy?
That's this guy.
Oh, this motherfucker.
And I'm going to point out, just because he's a doctor does not mean he's an expert on health.
He looks like a Jew.
It means he's an expert on doctoring. He's Russian, I believe.
I hate Russian Jews.
So let's check out what these
even worse. He's a Putin Jew.
I did hear some concerning news that there could be a situation where
Did you hear some concerning news? Why do fucking liberal men always fucking talk like that?
Because their testosterone's at 0. This guy needs to go see a fucking TRT doctor.
Individual like RFK Jr. ends up at the head of a major health organization like HHS, CDC, FDA. I cannot say how concerning it is, to use the words lightly, for me as a primary care physician to have someone who has spoken anti-science rhetoric in the past, denial of HIV. Wait,
hold on, Alan. Hold on. What is anti-science rhetoric?
There's no such thing as anti-science rhetoric.
There is no science. Is fluid. Science is meant to be questioned and debated.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I would also like to point out,
and fuck Kamala. That mouth has been on so many dicks.
And I would like to point out that there is a very strong likelihood that I have cured vastly more cases of type 2 diabetes than this bitch.
I would bet my house on it. And I have a nice house.
I mean, dozens and dozens of people, my wife and I have helped reverse type 2 diabetes. Dozens and dozens.
I'm probably in the triples right now. I'm probably in the triple digits.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and it's because we just changed lifestyle, right?
Yes.
And I'm not saying that he doesn't talk lifestyle. I think he does a little bit, but as a primary care physician, bitch, you think that means anything anymore?
No,
like that's the problem.
Joke.
Like that's the problem. Like these people are still hanging on to like, well, I'm a doctor. Congratulations. You learned nothing about the human body. You're basically an auto mechanic if the car gets into an accident. That's literally what you are. You don't know how the fuel works in the fucking car. You don't know how to properly fuel it. You don't know how to properly maintain it. You don't know how to properly do that. You are there to try to fucking fix it when the car gets crashed or breaks the fuck down acutely. That's literally what doctors are. And it amazes me that we have elevated them to this point where he thinks he's going to sit back and just basically talk shit. List your points, bitch. Like, what do you think he's wrong about? This was always my biggest argument for the fucking COVID pandemic, which again, he fucked up anyway. But if you think I'm wrong, produce your data to show me I'm wrong.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Exactly.
But they can't do that. They can't. And
No.
I'd imagine he's stressing because he's likely going to be like, it'll definitely affect his pocketbook should pharmaceuticals be, no longer advertised, and should we try to avoid people going to the doctor instead by making them healthy again, instead of having them completely depend upon their doctors. The healthcare industry is not set up for chronic care. It is set up for acute injury and illness. They don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to chronic illness because they don't understand where it comes from. They literally don't. They're not even taught about it. So this guy's gets under my skin.
I will let it go through. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's my bad too, bro. So
anti-vaccine stances to be mentioned in that.
Go ahead.
No, he just questions whether we should be giving our children 50 vaccines before the age of 16 months. I think we all should question why when we were babies, we got 3 vaccines and now they're getting like 50.
Well, here's another thing too. Like he talks about vaccines and autism and stuff like that. So if it's not vaccines, what the fuck is it?
We need to find out. We need to find out what it is. Just like the COVID thing. We need to ask these questions. Like, why does there appear to be an increase in cardiac events?
Right.
Just let's question that whole question. And we need to throw the vaccine in the mix just because it's part of the question. It's one of the variables. It's one of the multiple choice.
It's not even just that vaccine. Vaccines do not cause autism. We don't know that.
We don't either. We don't either. None of us know it. That's why we need to study it. Are you saying, Francine, that we shouldn't do studies on it? Are you against? So let's do this. Let's assume what you're saying is true. Are you against making sure?
Yeah. My
kids have all their vaccines.
Right.
Okay. I am not anti-vax. I'm anti-COVID vaccine. And I'll say that because you can say it on YouTube now. You just can't talk about Ukraine. You can't talk about Ukraine. But notice we never talk about Ukraine anymore. But we can talk about the fact that I do not personally want to take the vaccine, nor will I permit my family from taking it. Well, you can't tell your wife what to do. You're right. My wife's not retarded. She made that choice on her own. But I wouldn't. But my kids, no, they're not taking it. I would rather fight and die with the government than let my kids take that. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Right, same. Because the thing is, in reality, it's something, okay? Years ago when people received like 3 vaccines, you received like polio and a few others.
Yep.
Like autism was 1 in every 10,000 people, right? Now it's 1 in every 32, and in California, it's 1 in every 22. Okay?
So correlation is something correlation does not mean causation, but correlation should actually lead us to study the causation. That is how science is done for you smooth brains out there.
And then when you further add more correlative data, there are 0 cases of autism in the Amish community.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's something that we are doing in a lifestyle / medical way, right?
Yeah.
I would argue that like people, you got to understand the ingredients that go. It's not just the flu virus that's dead and blah blah blah. Which I don't even know if that even fucking works. The last time I got the flu vaccine, I almost fucking died from the flu. So. For real. And then I haven't gotten the flu since I don't get the vaccine anymore. Right.
I haven't gotten it since they snuck it into the DTaP when my wife was pregnant. And they have you take that when you have a pregnancy. I don't know. I took it. There's a flu thing in there. Man, I was sick as shit.
Yeah. So the fucking reality of it, like, hang on a second. So is my son's an adult too when it hit, but I sat down and explained to him that this is a fucking cold. You are young and healthy, and you are at almost no fucking danger from this virus. But there are massive unknowns when it comes to this fucking shot, and it's not a vaccine. It's not a vaccine. It's a fucking therapy.
They changed the definition of vaccine for it.
So the thing is, people saying that it doesn't cause, if you're saying that autism does not cause, or vaccines don't cause autism, maybe not one in particular, but the 72 that children get before they're 82 years old, or before they're 18 years old, the 72 that they get,
Jesus Christ,
something like 72, right?
Wow.
So you're saying that couldn't be it? I mean, I'm just like fucking thinking like maybe there's something to the mass amount that we're injecting children with, right?
Well, I mean, you're causing a cytokine storm, inflammation every time,
right?
Because there has to be a reaction, right? So if you're getting all that at once, you just have to look at, since 2020, I've done a lot of research. And when I tell you I research, I'm not bullshitting you. I've done a lot of research on the cytokine storms, on inflammation. When you give all of that stuff, whether good or bad, all at once, your body and different bodies react. My neighbors across the street, their kids are severely autistic, non-communicable. They cannot walk properly. And it was 100% linked to childhood vaccines. So in certain individuals, it can cause effects. And we need to study that. Can we all agree? Democrats, for some reason, they don't want to audit elections and they don't want to study things. We should audit every election. Whether Trump wins or loses, we should audit
every election. Every election. Beyond a shadow of a doubt in my mind.
Okay, I would like to pick this one up from this old chick.
Yeah.
TB, whooping cough, measles are all on the rise because people aren't vaccinated. Could it be, hear me out, could it be because we're letting people in from third world countries?
That could be it. It could also be that even with it could also be that, frankly, we are just a weaker ass population.
But who's not vaccinated? I don't think I know any kids who aren't vaccinated.
Yeah.
One, they're Mormon.
Yeah.
They're Mormon. And also, we're letting in a bunch of third world motherfuckers who do not get any of these.
It's only reported to be on the rise in several areas in the United States, which does look to correlate with the states that have cities in it. Like, you know, the thing is, when you state, like, here's my thing, Francine, you can keep going and you can keep going, but you stated that autism is not caused by vaccines. You cannot prove that.
No,
I want it to be proven. Okay.
Our statement isn't proven either. What we're saying, Francine, and everybody who thinks like Francine, are you against research?
Yeah.
Showing who's right. We just want to know who is right. That's it.
Boom.
That's it.
Springfield, Ohio reported high numbers of HIV and TB because of the Haitians. I mean, that's reality, you know? Well,
TB, I remember one time I was in an airport and they had to quarantine because someone on a flight had tuberculosis.
Yeah, and it's
so
it's
even if you're
and
I am vaccinated for it. So even if you have the vaccine, you get exposed to people who have it, you're fucked.
I mean, my thing is like, you know, you're saying those things are on the rise. Well, we did just let in like 20-some million unvetted people from fucking third world countries, and one of the dangers of all of those diseases that you listed off is international travel. I mean, it lists. I mean, I get it. You know, I understand, but I'm never against research science. Science can never have consensus. That's why scientific method is so dang important.
So
why'd you say it wasn't?
God, our ADHD is so bad today, so I need to make it even worse. I need to make it worse.
Yeah.
Not that one. Hold on. I was forced to take the COVID shot. No, you weren't. You could have. There's options. Yeah. One is telling whoever's trying to force you to fuck off and find a new job. Yeah. Nobody is forced to do anything like that. Not, at least not now. I don't know what's going to happen in 4 years if Kamala wins.
Yeah, no shit. Well, we'll get. I forgot we had a fucking thing up about her. Hang on a second. That's how my ADHD's rocking today.
Oh my God, here we go. I'm a mess.
Here we go.
That space. Is that concerning for you? And how would you imagine that would play out in the reproductive space?
Well, first of all, it's not going to happen because I intend to win this election. So let's start with that. And that is one of the reasons why I'm working so hard, because I know the stakes. So Donald Trump has indicated that he would have RFK run women's health policy.
I love how she says his name as if there was a fair nomination process for the left.
Well, and
he would have fucking destroyed her.
RFK is pro-choice, with no limits.
Yeah, right. Fucking crazy.
Policy. And we know, to your point, how that he has been very, well, you've said it best, and you're the medical professional. It has not been helpful to the medical profession to have him talk about healthcare the way he does. So I'm going to win the election, but it's going to be because everybody gets out and vote, and they know what is at stake. And that includes not only that issue of who's running women's health for the federal government, but also the Affordable Care Act. Donald Trump had tried to get rid of it dozens of times when he was president.
Hang on 1 second. Show me the data, because showing me the shit the CDC said, the CDC also told you to wear a fucking mask and walk 6 feet away from people.
They still tell people to wear masks. They still tell people to mask.
Producing that is not really a fucking source. It's just not, you know?
Okay, we need to just ignore Francine. I'm not saying block her, just ignore her.
No, yeah.
To get rid of it again, that would cause millions and millions of people to lose their health care insurance. It could go back to a time when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. As you know, that meant breast cancer survivors. It meant pregnancy was a pre-existing condition, by the way. Right. So these are all the things that are directly at risk because of this election. And these are the reasons that I'm fighting to make sure that we win.
So so Obamacare increased my premiums by 48%.
Yep.
And they also, our healthcare sucks now compared to what it was. So I want them to get rid of that shit.
Obamacare was a gift to the insurance companies, and a lot of people don't realize this, right? Because what people need to grasp is that Obamacare appeared to be for the people, because they're like, everybody's going to have it, so the prices will go down. Well, there wasn't any mechanism built into Obamacare that would force prices to go down for healthcare. As a matter of fact, there was provisions in there that would make them, of course, drive it up, because you see, they are capped out at 15% profit, insurance companies. And a lot of people don't understand this. So if I can bill, $1,000 for like you, like I can bill $1,000 for you, right?
Yeah.
And you're the only person that has insurance through me, right? I get to make 150. Okay. Like straight up, right? But if I want to make more money than $150, I have to bill you more. Yep. So I want you to go to the doctor more. I want you to get more pharmaceutical drugs. I want you to do all these things, because I'm not paying the cost of that. I'm going to get my max profit of 15% every single fucking quarter. Every single fiscal quarter, I'm going to get my fucking 15%, and there'll be rates adjustments coming through every single year that will make sure I get them. What happens is that the more that they get the bill, the higher their profit goes. So it actually incentivizes it incentivizes the healthcare industry and the insurance industry to have more sick people. It was a complete fucking farce that Obamacare was going to lower fucking costs. At no point in time, if anybody that knew anything about healthcare, knew anything about how insurance works or medical billing works, looking at Obamacare, nobody that was in the healthcare industry thought it was actually going to help.
What it does is it punishes hardworking Americans.
Yes, it does.
That's what it does. So my thing is, I want to kind of shift topics.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was listening to a couple like LeBron James, who I think is not only a great basketball player, but overall a pretty good human being who might be on Diddy's list.
Yeah.
However, ain't no party like a Diddy party, but you got to realize this guy's been in the limelight for all these years, never been caught in a scandal, started a school, or at least let him use his name, like overall good guy. But he said something in his "I'm voting for Kamala" speech that made me think. I am voting for Kamala to protect my daughter's rights. So I want to ask you, what rights will they not have under Trump? Number one is they'll be able to play sports without men in them. So that's a good thing. Can we all agree that's good for women?
Right.
Number two, so the only thing, which is kind of a joke because Trump is not about, Trump just wanted to make Roe v. Wade what it should have been in the first place. Abortion should be a state issue. That's it.
You know what?
He has no, and Trump would never, I don't think he would because he's a Democrat at heart. Trump would never sign a national abortion ban, but hear me out. His thing. So what rights? LeBron is literally saying that he wants his daughters to be able to kill his grandchildren. That is the reason that he is voting for Kamala. So his daughters can kill his elite line of genetic superiority. Think about it. If you're a man voting for Trump, voting for Kamala, who has daughters, and the reason is women's rights, you are voting for your daughter to get raw dogged with no repercussions. Now, let me speak. First of all, it appears STDs don't exist anymore because no one uses protection. Secondly, and I say this as a father, if my daughter got pregnant out of wedlock, if my daughter got pregnant and she has this career ahead of her, she has this, she's going to a great university, she's done everything right. She gets in love, whatever, wrong guy, gets pregnant. Pray to God it doesn't happen, but say she gets pregnant. I will say, keep that baby, have the baby. Your mother and I will raise that child while you're out starting your career. As soon as you're ready, come and be the mom. That is what a real man does. That is the problem. The problem is there are no fathers who will take control of their family. I told my daughter, I've told her this. I'm like, look, I know you're not stupid. I know you don't do that stuff, but I understand that when you're young, you make choices that might not be the best. If you ever get pregnant, keep that baby. And we got this. I have plenty of space. I will raise that child. It will be alpha as fuck. And we will do the job. What was crazy is I said that on this show. He doesn't watch the show, don't worry. The next day, Cernovich tweets out the same thing, almost verbatim. I know he didn't see it on the show. He doesn't watch it. But that is how it's done. As a father, you need to tell your daughter that our precious genetics, our precious DNA cannot be sacrificed. If you get pregnant, whether the right man or the wrong man, that is a human life. That is my DNA. I will raise that child and love it like my own. But unfortunately, dads, moms, you guys fucking suck. You need to have these conversations with your children. Absolutely. That life is precious. That having a baby is not the end of your life. It's not the end of your career, because I will raise that child as my own. Because that's what families do.
Well, I'm going to point out that traditionally that's how almost every, like when you think about Italian American households, they were almost always multi-generational.
Should be.
Jewish, 100%. Like 100%. Like the grandparents almost always helped with the raising of children. Now the problem is we are multiple generations in when the father is absent. So it's like the father's not in the picture, the grandfather's not in the picture. Like men, because men are punk ass bitches right now, you know, in relative terms. I would also want to say, I just want to point out one thing. Ruth Ginsburg, the very leftist Supreme Court justice at the time, thought that Roe v. Wade should be done with, and it should be a states thing.
It's not a constitutional right.
Well, not to mention that, but here's the thing, dude. It protects it, okay? Because like this, if you allow it to get to a federal level, we were not set up to run like this. The federal government making blanket rules for the entire fucking country is a problem, right? Because now, like people choose to live places because they like how it's run. But if you make everything about the federal government should be making no laws that impact our lives. Like they should be making no laws at all. This whole, like, the federal government helps keep you safe. Fuck your safety. I don't give a. I want my personal liberty. That's what the federal government's job was to do.
To protect our personal liberty.
Protect our personal liberty. I don't give a fuck about your safety. I don't. Dude, I know you can take care of yourself, and if shit went down, me and Mark would be back to back. I can guarantee it.
So let me ask you this. I have a hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical me.
Can you imagine, let's say 500 years from now, they're looking back at the history books and they see that a pivotal question in the election, a reason that these demonic women are going to vote, is the right to kill a child. That is the only issue they care about. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about the wars. So they want to vote for the party that's pro-war. Again, we're the party of RFK and Tulsi Gabbard. And they want to vote for the party that's pro-baby sacrifice. Can you imagine? Like, we look back at the Mayans and their sacrifices. We're like, dude, those motherfuckers were savages. Yeah. Can you imagine looking back at this election and future generations looking back and going, dude, these people were fucking savages. They're pro-war and they're pro-baby sacrifice. Yeah. And that is the Democrat Party. Guys, motherfuckers. And I mean that with all due respect.
Yeah, it's endearing.
We are pro-choice. I speak for Alan because we have this conversation on here all the time. I am pro-choice with limits. And I'm not going to change that. No. But to make that your only issue, you are a dumb piece of shit. And I mean that with all due respect.
Well, it's for it to be your only issue, it shows that you've got such limited intellect. You know, like there is so much other shit in the world. And frankly, no rights were taken, like, because at all. And I'll be the first one to say, like, I don't believe anybody should know what goes on between a person and their doctor. It's like medical privacy went out the fucking window. But beyond that, to be like, I'm not a one. If I was like, say I was only about the COVID pandemic, I would abstain from voting. Yeah, because I don't like how Trump handled it at all.
He was horrible.
Right. I hope he learned his lesson. If not, if not, maybe we'll have to face a different, oppression. But reality to me means that, like, if we make America healthy again, there would never ever be an instance like say instead of having 50% viscerally obese population, which we had in 2018, it was over 50% visceral obesity, right? And a population that's 93.2% metabolically unhealthy. If we were 2% metabolically unhealthy and our obesity rate was 3% like Japan, do you think we'd be like Americans would be concerned about a motherfucking cold? Like, I mean, like,
but Alan,
so that's why I vote. That's why I vote for that. Like, I'm going to vote for RFK because even though I don't like how Trump handled something, I'm not going to be a one fucking. I'm not going to be a one issue voter.
What fucked Trump up was his cabinet, but now he's got Ron Paul, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK. There's thousands of people watching this right now. Which, by the way, thank you very much. I can't believe we're this popular. Are you seeing our numbers right now? Holy fuck! If you haven't voted already, go vote Trump. Tomorrow, be the first at the poll. Do not wait till the end of the day. You have the day off, most likely. I don't, because I own a business. But I already voted. Guys, Alan, you know who I hate more than liberals?
Who's that?
Fucking evangelical Christians.
Here we go. Let's do it.
But not all of them. Just people like this guy. This motherfucker right here. Fuck, wrong guy. Got it. Okay. This comes from this prick, Ben Zeisloft. I'm an evangelical voter in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump could have had my vote had he not started to support most kinds of abortions and vowed to fund IVF with my tax dollars. I have no idea why these motherfuckers are against in vitro fertilization. It's taking what God does and helping it along. We're making more babies, you dumb fuck. I am casting my vote for Dusty Devers and Bradley W. Pierce. Who the fuck? I don't even know who these people are. Who the fuck is Dusty Devers? Is that a porn star?
We talk about politics almost every fucking day, and I've never heard these names.
I voted for some Republicans in state and local races, some third-party candidates. None of this was necessary. I would have voted for Donald Trump or any other Republican who vowed to protect the preborn and end mass child sacrifice. Okay, I'm not going to read any more of this. Oh, wait, if the Republican Party wants evangelical votes, they cannot shirk evangelical party priorities. So instead of voting for the candidate who literally put the justices in place to get rid of Roe v. Wade, he's voting, essentially, he's voting for a woman by not voting for Trump, who wants to literally allow abortion up to birth. You dumb fucking holier than thou piece of motherfucking dog shit. I hope God sees how fucking stupid you are and damns you to an eternity of fucking hell. You dumb piece of shit. You fucking holier than thou, Bible thumping, hypocritical, smooth brained, small micro dick motherfucker. You fucking idiot. I swear to God. I swear to God, these fucking evangelicals and this Lila Rose cunt with her fucking fundraisers, paying herself like $500,000 a year to fight for life. Bitch, you're fighting for richness, you bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck these people. Fuck all of them. Fuck Lila Rose. Fuck this motherfucker. Fuck Jay-Z. Fuck people. Oh, wrong song. Sorry. Yeah. That was it. That was it.
That was it. The thing about the IVF, like, as a newsflash for everybody, IVF is going to become wildly popular, okay? Because in this next 5-10 years, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that realize that, like, they're going to have a lot of trouble conceiving.
Because of the thing.
Because of the thing and the fatness and the fucking, and the food and the, like, dudes are basically fucking solo testosterone now that they fucking, the sperm count keeps falling up 1% per fucking year, dude. Like, this is... Without IVF is one of the only ways we're going to be able to continue America. Like, so people should get used to, like, if we're going to fund anything through taxpayer fucking assisted fucking healthcare, it should be that. It should absolutely be that. And I get it I get where he's coming from, because, like, he thinks that, like, he's going to fucking go to hell if he votes for Trump. Yeah, I would argue that, like, you're letting, like, and here's how I speak to evangelicals. You're letting the devil convince you to do the wrong thing by not voting for somebody that is already going to try to help you out. That is way, way, way better than what would happen. Like, your write-in votes, like, you literally just wasted a fucking vote. I remember, dude, like, it was like almost a fucking year ago where me and you held the live where I was like, everybody needs to fall behind Trump. I hate the man. Like, after 2020, dude, like, I like him a lot better now because the team he's assembled, and he did that. And it showed massive humility for him to pull in all these other people that could be his replacement or something like that. Like, and I didn't think Trump was capable of that. And I do think that the assassination attempt changed him. I've noticed a change in demeanor.
It changed all of us.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. But I can fucking certainly say I wasn't super fucking pleased with him. But I said anyway, we need to get behind him, because it is either vote for Trump and put a backstop on the fucking slide into authoritarianism, or just get on your knees and get ready to get fucked, because that's what's about to happen. It's not even a question.
These short-sighted evangelicals, they got literally the man who the Democrats blame for Roe v. Wade, which, by the way, like, take your little victory and run with it, you micro penis motherfucker. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But the good news is, Alan, according to my favorite follow for the election, the People's Pundit, it appears that early voting, if everything continues, Republicans dominated.
Yeah.
They dominated. So the firewall that Democrats needed to win in Pennsylvania was 500K. They're 412K. They only netted 2,411 ballots.
Wow.
So the motto was, what was it? Make it too big to cheat, or too
big to rig.
Whatever. Too big to rig. That's it. And This is great. So it's looking good, but tomorrow is going to be, I don't even want to watch it all day. Really. I just don't. I have work to do, but I'm praying that everything works out. But again, look, if you even question the election in 2020 that found to have severe inconsistencies, that was found to have a miraculous spike at 2 a.m. If you even question that, you're called like an anti-American election denier. I think that questioning the election is the most American thing you could do.
Dude, again, like, man, like, how are we not auditing every federal election anyway? Because here's my suggestion: audit every federal election. Anybody caught cheating is treated as a traitor, and we treat them how traitors used to get treated 100 years ago.
Yep.
I mean,
don't understand why we don't audit elections.
It's wild to me. It's the most important thing ever. Like you always bring up the very, very like good point of the federal government can choose to audit us at any fucking time they want.
Yeah.
Right. And tell us that we owe them money when, frankly, income tax isn't even constitutional. I don't live in DC. We're not at war. So I don't know why we're paying.
Well, we will be at war.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't live in DC.
We're definitely going to be at war.
So, but reality, like, they can audit us. Why can't we audit them? It should be without question that every federal, whether Trump wins or not, we should audit this fucking election. In fact, if Trump really wanted to like solidify like his place, he should be like audit. Like even if he wins, he should be like audit that. I want to know exactly how much I won by.
Audit your own election.
Yep.
Audit your own election.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. He won't do it, but it would be awesome.
No, because he'd be afraid that they'd cheat on the audit.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan just endorsed Donald Trump, apparently.
What? Let me look that up.
Lives at TikTok a minute ago.
Holy shit. That's actually kind of huge.
It's kind of huge.
Oh, here it is. Oh, wow. He puts, here it is. Here it is. From Joe Rogan. One moment here. The great and powerful Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement for Trump.
Damn.
Holy fuck.
That's fucking... There's the twins. Yeah.
Sugar walls. Oh my God. We got to get Valentina on here.
Yes.
She's absolutely insane, and I love her.
Yes. Yeah.
She's nuts. She has a picture for every post.
Yes, she does.
And they're always more and more extreme.
Yeah. At some point in time, she's going to have like terrorists in little hoods, like on the fucking ground, tied up with her just standing there with a fucking axe.
Is she in the desert or the beach? Like, what is she doing here?
I think it's the it's the desert, unless it could be Siesta Key Beach. No shit, because they have white sand and it's very, very, very wide, or it used to be before the last hurricane. I haven't been down there since.
Wow,
that's huge.
Wow, that's huge, and that's why. So if you saw, I'm not going to pull it up, but so John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, went on Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan got him to admit that immigration was to change the voter demographic.
Mm-hmm. Wild.
Was to make swing states blue. So, but I was telling my wife, we're listening to that. And it's like, that's why Kamala wouldn't go on, because Joe wouldn't let it slide. Joe just keeps asking questions. He's like, so why is that? So why is that? It's pretty simple. The conversation style, she would have died. She would have imploded. Her head would have exploded.
So, as a like confession, I rarely sit and watch or listen to a podcast all the way through. My brain's just not meant to do it, dude. Like, I mean, I try really, really hard. Right. But if I've got other shit I got to be doing, like, it's not happening. If I go for a nice long walk, podcast the fuck away. If I'm driving, podcast the fuck away.
Yeah.
If it's my normal day, it's awfully fucking hard. But I have recently sat and listened to in full length several of his podcasts, and he has got to be one of the best interviewers ever because he allows the person to speak, but then he also is fabulous on asking follow-up questions on why they think that way. And I think the why is the most important thing in our society right now, because nobody gets to the why point. Nobody gets to the I agree with this because of this, and then ask the follow-up question. And I think he does a fabulous job of it, dude. He's likely the best interviewer alive right now.
Yeah. So listen to this.
Well, I'll say it again, man. I think this was the last election. If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think people, and a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath,
Yeah, exactly.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left wing and they realize like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's nuts.
It's nuts, man. And
Wow.
Well,
that's what's scary is that Elon says it. He's smart. He's smarter than me.
Yeah. Oh,
if
dude,
he's saying it, we're fucked.
I think with him, I think the problem is like an IQ test doesn't even actually test his IQ. Like
no, his
for a lot
IQ's
of
beyond the test.
Yeah, for some people it's like that, dude. I was talking about it today. I have one cousin who actually has borderline personality disorder. That's why I was talking about him on a live. And he's like he's like a world-renowned biochemist. He lives in Thailand.
Wow.
And he's one of these people that you'll be sitting there talking to him and you can tell there's like 10 other conversations going on in his head. Kind of scary because the borderline personality disorder thing.
Yeah.
But then like all of a sudden he'll get up, pull out his laptop, and he'll do like 2 hours worth of work and put it back down. Like brilliant. And he's one of those where it's like his IQ is so high it doesn't really test, right? And Elon strikes me as smarter than him. Me and you are both very intelligent men, right? Very, very, very intelligent men. Elon makes me feel stupid when I listen to him talk. I noticed the glitches in how both you, him, and I talk, where it's like the almost like stutter start, like blah blah blah. Sometimes, like when we're trying to form the thought. So I have some insight, but he's so like how he see. I would love to be able to see the world through his eyes.
Oh my God!
One time, because I bet you it's completely different than our perception of how things are. You know what I mean?
He's on a different wavelength, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's just he's so superior mentally to everybody. I like when Democrats were calling him dumb. I'm like, this guy is shooting people into outer space. He invented satellite internet. Like he has the coolest electric cars. He literally he made electric cars not suck.
Dude, he has androids, man. Like, I mean, and I bet you what he's showing us is not what all he has yet. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Imagine what he has in the fucking vault and shit, you know?
Dude, he is also next level.
Calling him stupid, like that's just. I'm sorry, like you sound horrible, you know? I mean, oh wait, Megyn Kelly just said at Trump's rally, "I prefer the old version of masculinity, and I prefer a president who is strong and knows how to fight. Vote Trump, and you get 10 friends to vote Trump too." Megyn Kelly, and she used to hate him. You know?
Well, I think, man, I hope it's such a landslide. I hope it's Reagan 1984, man.
Yeah.
Like, it is just, we need to do something, man. Like, we really need this win. And if we don't get it, dude, the economy is collapsing under our feet. I just, I'm deep in the industry. I'm deep in business. Yes. And so, you heard about Hooters bankruptcy, Big Lots shutting down. These stores that were crushing it are just being destroyed. 7-Eleven shutting down a bunch, but they're like, no, the economy's up 2%. It's the best ever. Explain things like this.
Jesus. So are they? So they're going to be shutting these stores down?
So Vitamin Shop is owned by a large company who also owns American Freight. So they're shutting it down due to sustained inflation and macroeconomic challenges.
Wow.
Yeah.
By Macroeconomic challenges. It probably is shipping costs and stuff like that.
Well, if fuel goes up, everything goes up.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're going to see, if we don't put a stop to this tomorrow, like we're lucky to sustain as a country.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, we won't be. I mean, if because I'm going to say it, I don't believe that he would legitimately lose. There's just no way I can believe that. I mean, dude, when you look at the comments, like go to YouTube. YouTube is a leftist platform. We can all agree, right?
Yes.
The comments on the video that had Kamala in it and like go to the comments on the the Shannon Sharp video. She is almost universally disliked. Like, I mean, nobody can tell me that she was the most unpopular vice president just about of all fucking times. Was known to be a failure about the border. Was known to be a failure about about COVID. Known to be a failure about a bunch of other shit. And all of a sudden, like, people are pretending that she is going to literally rise up and defeat one of the best presidents, if not the best president of my lifetime, if not one of the best presidents ever, right?
Yeah, like, Skip Bayless just supported Donald Trump. Skip Bayless is, let's just say that he might be a customer of a store that I really like.
Yeah.
So Skip Bayless, the first comment, you don't have to sell out to the establishment. Toe Daddy is a retard. 24 followers. Look at him. Idiot. But everybody, look at the comments, are just like, wow. Yep. Really positive.
Yeah. The only place I see really positive stuff about Kamala anymore is TikTok. And that's because they don't allow positive stuff about Trump pretty much.
Well, because they're Chinese. They want to destroy us. The easiest way to destroy us is by electing Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have this guy. So he just told me to get mogged. Motherfucker, my calf is bigger than your whole body, and that's my weakest body part.
What is he, like $130? Like fucking
what? My dude, Thomas is way bigger.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
He photoshopped that. Scroll back up. Look at his arm.
Yeah, that's definitely photoshopped.
That's photoshopped.
What is this? Well, unless he tore his bicep, that doesn't make sense.
Yes, that's photoshopped.
These guys all look not straight.
Yeah. Wow.
Phil, we have a big guy here.
We gotta have Phil on, man.
Look at this guy. Really? Like, he mogged me? Is that mogging? What the fuck does mogging mean even? I'm too old for this. Did I just get mogged?
Oh, well, I don't even know. What the fuck, man? I mean,
what did I send you the other day? It was I sent you on Instagram where it was Shannon Sharp, his interview. And Instagram, you got to realize most of his followers are young black men. And the whole comment section was, fuck this bitch. Like, it was crazy. Yep. It was crazy how much people hate her. Yeah, I don't think the polling is showing the truth. I think it's all
no. Trump even called it. He was like, the polls are going to come out tomorrow and I'm going to be behind. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not believing it. Like, I'm just not, like, what has happened in the last couple of days that would make people think like, I'm definitely switching my vote for Trump. Not to mention that these people that pretend like they're undecided, how the fuck the choices are so radically fucking different. Like what the fuck? I mean, if you're a single subject voter, you've already decided because they've told you, right?
Yeah.
If you are because you're an idiot, right? One way or the other, like they're so dichotomous. It's like it's not like there's like some difference, like how it used to be between Republicans and Democrats, where there's some difference on who would tax a little bit more and they would talk about the policies. First of all, we have no fucking idea what this hoe is going to do. Like none. Like we have no idea. She's not laid out any percentage points.
Alan,
you hear Trump talk about shit. He's like talking percentages and what we're going to do and how much money it will generate and everything like that. Like, it's wild.
Can I ask you what? I actually have an answer for that.
Yep.
And I want to ask you a question. Who's running the country right now?
Nobody.
No,
well, the regime.
No, the same people have been running it all along.
Yep.
With Kamala, it's simply Biden 2.0. Yep. Nothing. Look, the reason I'm scared isn't because she's going to do something different, because she isn't. It's just going to be more of the same. More war, more inflation, more immigration, more crime. We already know what's going to happen. So I will argue there is zero unknown. There is zero unknown right now. Kamala is not, look, Biden is a houseplant right now. He doesn't have any function.
No.
Kamala is retarded. And I say that, I don't want to insult retarded people, because she is beyond retarded. The bitch is fucking stupid. Yes. She literally filleted her way to the top. I'm not even playing. There's literally evidence of it. Yeah. So I do not think there's going to be a drastic change. Kamala, it's 4 more years of what's going on. Then our only hope is that somehow we curb immigration, or country's fucked. And then hope in 2028 we get JD Vance or RFK or someone like that, or Tulsi, and then we have even more dirt to pick up. Look, I don't think this is the end of voting. I don't think it's the end of America. But I do think it's more of the same. And I just showed you proof that the same is scary.
Yeah, the same's terrifying.
It's terrifying. I wish it was unknown, Alan. Because at least with like when Biden was elected, the unknown is what propelled me to tweet. Don't panic. Biden is actually, I looked at some of his old stuff. I'm like, he was abortion, or what was it? Rare, whatever, So Biden at one point was pro-choice with limits. He was anti-gun control with some exceptions of weird, like even RFK has his issues, right?
Right.
So Biden in his heyday would actually agree with most of what we say. He wasn't really big on war. I believe he was against the war in Iraq, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was.
So,
but it just
tried to explain this. The reason I was I voted for Trump, but the reason I was okay with Biden winning is because I didn't know. I know exactly what's going to happen with Kamala. Right. And it's the same shit that's been happening, and it scares the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, plus, she's so weak when it comes to international politics.
Well, she's a retard.
War will be upon us. That'll be the difference. Like, war will be upon us, right? And that's a scary thing to me. I will point out though, like, you're saying nobody's running like the same people that have been running it are running it. I think that's been the same besides Trump for like the last 50 fucking years, just about.
Yep.
I think the last person that actually stood in the way of the regime was Reagan, and they tried to assassinate him, and then he magically got Alzheimer's in his second term.
Yeah. Right? Wow. And yeah, you're right.
George Bush Sr. was his vice president, who happened to be in the head of the CIA right before that. And weird how, Reagan is shot and then all of a sudden has massive onset Alzheimer's. He went from being very fucking sharp, quoting some of the most prolific conservative quotes of all fucking time, to barely being able to fucking speak very quickly.
They drugged him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
so,
I do.
Another one.
I think Trump got in the way, and that's where we're at. We're at right now.
And they tried to kill him twice. Yeah. So the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, no surprise, just endorsed Donald Trump. So look, a lot of people early voted, but tomorrow is what matters. So all of the endorsements are coming out, and these do matter. Look, Beyonce, all them hoes, Taylor Swift, they don't matter.
No.
They don't matter. Half of Taylor Swift's audience are 15 years old. They can't vote.
Right.
Dude, matters. The Ron Paul thing is huge. Libertarians get 5% of the vote. Do you think that Chase motherfucker is going to get even one?
No. Now that Ron Paul might
No.
Ron Paul might be in a position to help with government efficiency. If that didn't make every libertarian spontaneously orgasm just now, you're not really a libertarian. I mean, like it's Ron Paul.
You don't think Joe Rogan is going to push people to go vote?
Oh my God, fuck yeah. I mean,
how many of these marijuana smoking gambling addicts who watch Joe Rogan and Barstool Sports, they're usually, how many of them are going to be like, dude, if Joe Rogan thinks this is legit, dude, have you seen how much shit Joe Rogan sells when he promotes something?
It's wild. Absurd. It's like wild. That like you can't even fucking go on TikTok without seeing an ad for Alpha Brain.
Oh my God. So Patrick Mahomes' mother, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, this is crazy. It is no longer. So here's what happens. If Trump loses, the vocal minority becomes the vocal majority. This
Absolutely.
is, no matter what happens tomorrow, I want to say, guys, I'm very bullish about America because right now, it is no longer uncool. Being pro-Trump has become cool.
Remember when people used to say that was an insult?
This is Patrick Mahomes' mom. The greatest quarterback in the NFL right now. I don't care what anybody says. The guy has more rings, going to win another one this year. She's wearing a MAGA hat.
That's awesome.
Wow. I love it.
I love this. She said it.
I'm just scrolling through my feed.
So my biggest hope, by the way, the other thing that I'm worried about, like that I want to.
Oh, here's my favorite porn star, Brandy Love.
Trump.
Okay, I'm not gonna. So I have talked to Brandy Love in DMs. I gave her some training advice.
Okay.
I might have sent her a dick pic, but it was just because I thought that's what you do when you talk to porn stars. Look, man, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. She laughed. Is that good or bad? She laughed. She's seen bigger.
She's seen bigger. So,
it was probably the smallest one she's ever seen, other than the midget porn.
Now that we're talking about dicks again, I fucking lost my train of thought.
Jesus Christ. Started with dicks, we end with dicks. Damn it.
Yeah, I just got to start.
Whoa. Dicks. What is? I want to see her. She looks awesome. Okay. Can we watch this one?
Yeah.
She looks amazing. She just looks like she's fired up. Who is this woman? Okay, we don't know.
As the 47th president of the United States of America.
Okay, my kids have a championship game Saturday. I wonder if she could come give the pep talk.
No shit, man.
Fight! Let's go!
Jesus, that was the best pregame speech
dude, I've ever seen. Gave me fucking goosebumps, man.
Bro, I want to go hit something right now.
Yeah, man.
That was amazing.
The thing I remember. The thing I'm worried about is like they realize that they'll never be able to convince people that Trump lost, so they're going to rig the fucking congressional elections.
Yes.
You know?
You think so?
I mean, well, I can see that happening. We should if the voting total is different for Republicans and Democrats in the House and Senate from Trump, we should definitely be taking a fucking look at it.
For Trump to put Elon on the day before the election, that was purposeful.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the reality is like if Trump can get the House and Senate also, we can save America. We truly can. Because here's the thing, I highly fucking doubt like the Republicans that were basically obstructionists these last 4 years that would all of a sudden fall in line with the Democrats every chance they fucking got. I don't think that they're going to either win, and if they do, if they go against it in the first 2 years, they're going to get fucking ousted after 2.
Dude, Megyn Kelly's hot, dude. I'm sorry, had to say.
She's older than me.
I don't care, man. I'm a grandma chaser. Check this out.
My show 4 years ago, we had Mark Cuban on the program. Yeah.
By the way, Mark Cuban got fired from the Kamala campaign, and he hasn't been posting in like a week. He got, oh my God.
He was in the news this week, and he started going on about how bad America's race history was and how ashamed he was of America, and that's why he was at all these protests, and he felt it was really important to stand up and speak out about human rights violations. And then it got awkward when I asked him about all the money he was taking from China. Then he dropped a bunch of F-bombs, and I thought, I really enjoy this feeling of proving Mark Cuban wrong. And so here I am at a Trump rally, a strong, intelligent woman to prove Mark Cuban wrong again.
God bless her for coming to the right side. Thank you, Megan. Look, man, like we said about the COVID thing, I don't care where you started, as long as we're together now.
That's right. I'm the same way. The thing is, with who do you think is going to be press secretary? There are people floating around the idea that Tucker Carlson's going to be the press secretary.
Now, you know what? You got to bring back McEnany, man. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was amazing.
She was so good, and she's sexy. What is up with all these sexy people?
They're not on the left.
I don't think I'm sexy enough. Like, they're all hotter than the celebrities, man.
Yeah, for real. The celebrities all have the moon face going on because they're getting so much fucking filler. Oh my God. Yeah, I hope it's a wipeout tomorrow. I hope he just kills everything. Me too.
This is I'm optimistic, but again, here's the thing. I know I said some really dire shit before, but I really want to emphasize, if Kamala wins, we have momentum to change this country.
Yep.
But it all starts locally.
Yep.
Make sure that your state is fortified. Educate as many people as possible. Raise your own children. Guys, I changed my mind. After seeing this, it is no longer bad to love America. It is no longer bad to say that we shouldn't discriminate against white people. It is no longer bad to say that we don't believe in world wars. It is no longer bad to say that we need to take care of America's health. It is no longer bad that we want to make America awesome. That is what I love about this election. And win or lose, we're at a precipice where America might not be ready for that change yet, but it's going to come. And when it comes, it's going to be glorious. But before healing comes pain.
Yep.
And even if Trump wins, we're in for a good 6 months of Democrat-fueled riots.
Oh, my God.
And I warn you, they're going to riot. They're going to have false flags. They're going to try and assassinate him. They're going to try and assassinate RFK. They might even come after Tim Pool. They might come after Kirk. They might come after fucking everybody, Luke. They might come after Elijah. They might come after us. But obviously, nobody cares about us. I take that back. We're like 1/1,000,000th of their viewership, but
but hang on, give us a minute.
Yeah, give us a minute. But I'll tell you,
the second act hasn't even started yet, bitches.
I promise you this: I've never been so impressed with America. Where Patrick Mahomes' mom, in my opinion, that is even more significant than Joe Rogan, because I know that, look, I don't talk to my mom. We've for many issues, right? If I was to do something like that, and I'm at my brother's, let's say my brother's in the NFL. I'm like, hey, Aaron, I'm in the press box. Cool. By the way, do you mind if I wear a Trump hat? Dude, she asked him. He knows it. She's not going to fuck her son up like that. Patrick Mahomes is like, go ahead, mom.
Yep.
So for Nick Bosa at this 49ers game, for the post-game interview, came out wearing a Make America Great Again hat. It is no longer wrong to be pro-America. It is no longer wrong to fight against woke policies. If Kamala wins, she will be in for the fight of her life from the American people.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with you.
I take it. I'm not going anywhere. I've changed my mind. America is too great. So look, there's no dunking on us. If Kamala wins, it's not a loss for us. That's a loss for America.
Yep.
I'm going to wake up the next morning. I'm going to go to work and I'm going to go coach and I'm going to do everything in my power to make my family great, to make my city great, to make my state great, and hopefully help make my country great.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's outstanding, dude. Outstanding. So I don't think Mark and I, if we come on tomorrow, it's not going to be for long.
It'll be for like 30 minutes. We're not, look, here's what we encourage you to do. We understand our place in this ecosystem.
Yeah.
We rant about shit. We're mostly health-based. We are not political. So Elijah Schaefer, I want to give a shout out to him. He has a 6-person panel. I just talked to him today. If you have time to watch Elijah Schaefer, Slightly Offensive, watch him.
Yes.
If you don't like Elijah because he hates Jews, just kidding. He doesn't hate. He's one of my best friends. Like, he doesn't hate Jews.
Right.
But he's critical of Israel. And he kind of hates Jews. Watch Timcast. If you don't watch Timcast, watch Luke Kukowski.
Right. I mean, and just be aware of what's going on. If you are not paying attention to it tomorrow,
I won't be. I'm tuning it out. I can't. So tomorrow I have football practice.
Right.
So I wouldn't be here anyway. And
if I come on, it's going to be very short, dude. It's going to be like, it'll probably be at 6:30 Eastern time, and it'll probably be just like for like very short period of time.
Guys, but
I gotta focus on other shit. Yeah.
Elijah is going to have a banger. He's going to have a banger. So I'm going to watch Elijah if I watch anything, but when the election results are coming in, I'm Netflixing. I'm not doing it. So I can't handle it. I don't want the stress. I'm going to zone out. My ADHD will go other places and I'll be safe.
Yep. And that's one of the awesome things about having ADHD. But on that note, Mark, I want you to have a good day. Rest your voice. That was outstanding. Thank you very much, sir.
That was so much fun.
We'll be back. Let's see. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm not sure if Mark's going to be able to be here for coaching and stuff like that. That's normally film night.
Yeah. So we have so just real quick, if you give me 1 minute. So Saturday we were tied. We actually came from behind.
Right.
It's tied 22-22. So the way overtime works at our age, you both get 4 downs from the 10-yard line to score. Yeah. On 4th down, we run it in, we score. We held them for 3 plays. The 4th play, their wide receiver's 12 years old. He's like 5'7". Our guy is like 4'11". Jumps in the air. Dansby's his name. Ashton Dansby. Remember that shit. Jumps in the air, knocks the ball out of his hands. We're going to the championship, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The coach after the game for the other team, this brought me in tears. He said, he came up to me. So after the game, their kids were all crying. These were good kids, dude. And I'm going to try not to cry. So I'm like, I go to the other coach. I'm like, hey, I know this game took forever. Can we all get together and say a prayer together? Cool. So we all got in the middle of the field, prayed together. It was great. The coach comes up to me and says, is 44 your kid? Like, well, yeah. He's like, he's an amazing kicker, probably one of the best all-around athletes I've ever seen. He's a special kid. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much, right?
That's awesome.
So the next night, regional championships, our undefeated Page Patriots played a crosstown rival, Nolensville. It was over before it started. 42-0. We're going to the playoffs, baby, undefeated.
Fuck yeah.
Great That's weekend. Awesome. Again, I'm not going to let the election get in the way of what I'm doing in my community. I encourage everyone here, everyone, whether you're a Kamala voter, which we can't be friends, but I can still cheer for you. Yeah. Whether you're a Trump voter, look, I don't care who you vote for. If you're working to make your community great and working to help children and help your fellow citizen, look, put our differences aside. Let's make America great in our own way.
Hell yeah. That's an awesome, awesome, awesome ending, dude. On that note, Everybody thank Mark, because those were words of wisdom that all of you motherfuckers should take. And we will be back on Wednesday, or I'll be back. I'll probably have a guest with me. I hope you all have a great day. And Mark, I'll text you in probably 10 minutes.
All right, brother.
Bye.
The Outright Bar is back in stock. So here's what we did. As you know, the bar is the best when it's the freshest. So what we did, we ran out of all inventory and we are bringing them back. 3 to 4 bar flavors at a time, week after week after week after week. If you go to the Outright Bar page on tigerfitness.com, it has the dates listed to when your favorite Outright Bar is back in stock. So go to tigerfitness.com now and stock up on your favorite Outright Bar.